Hello everyone, this is Tom for the Market Zone, and this is a new weekly market analysis video where I'm going to cover some of the trading scenarios I posted in yesterday's newsletters. If you are not familiar with the weekly market analysis, this is a weekly newsletter that covers the markets, the forex market and the stock market, reviewing the price action of last week and also suggesting several trading scenarios for this week. So go to marketzone.tumblr.com, see the blog post, the weekly market analysis blog post, and if you scroll down you can press the links to the PDF file for the stock markets edition and the FX markets edition, and read and be prepared for your next trading week. So don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed already. Last week everyone was waiting to see what the Fed would do on a Wednesday FOMC meeting, and the announcement came and they kept rates unchanged as expected. And what we got by the end of the week is two interesting things. Both the dollar index, the DXY that you see here, and S&P, this is the QQQ, but the S&P also stayed within the PRZ of the bearish harmonic pattern I mentioned last week's newsletter. I will show you in a minute what I'm talking about. And that means that the uncertainty level remain high. Everyone still waits, and now they have to wait till December to know what the Fed will do. So I expect some stalling actions, especially that we are entering the end of the year, the holidays period. I don't see major moves in the markets by then, but if any, I think that the bearish potential is still very relevant, and I will show you that in a minute. So if you are not following the Market Zone, you can follow marketzone.tumblr.com and be updated with all the important stuff I'm posting there. And of course, subscribe to the newsletter. It's for free. It's weekly newsletter, and you can be prepared for each trading week, with whether you're trading forex or stocks. So go to www.themarketzone.net and subscribe there in the weekly market analysis newsletters. The first chart I want to show you is the S&P 500. We can see futures down this morning, but the interesting thing was this outside bar on Friday inside the PRZ of the green Gartley pattern that you see. You see the X point A, B, C, D. Gartley completion was around 2070, and the price tried to rally it back to 2100, and it failed, created a bearish outside bar. Why bearish? Because once the price closed below the outside bar, it became bearish reversal pattern. And now the price will retest probably the 200 SMA line here, and then we will have to see whether it will close below it or above it. As you can see, we are inside a bearish Gartley pattern PRZ, which means that what I've said before, the bearish potential is still in the markets. It's still relevant. The 200 SMA line and the 2050 zone here, which was resistance, now it is support, can become support zone and maybe push S&P back up to the 2100 zone. But if the S&P will close below the 200 SMA line again, it will become a bearish signal. So monitor the PRZ of the Gartley. We have 2100 on top, 2120, and 2050 as support with the 200 SMA line. The interesting thing is that we saw the price rally following the Fed announcement, and we also saw the same reaction in dollar index, as I will show you right now. As you can see here, DXY, the dollar index, also rally following the Fed's announcement, and then immediately it respected the PRZ of this green Gartley and dropped below the PRZ. The price is probably heading towards the 200 SMA line, which is the first target level for the bearish Gartley here. And near 96.5 it will meet the 200 SMA line, the 50 SMA line, and the fast SMA line all projected to be around 96, which will turn 96 to a strong support for the dollar, and maybe will push it towards 100. But I will monitor price here, and maybe it will break below and reach secondary target level 95, creating a longer term bearish signal for the dollar. So 96 is the 96.5 is the interesting zone this week. We see the price continues to decline towards it. Monitor it and see how the price reacts to the support zone. If you are bullish on dollar, you can probably look for a buying opportunity here. If you're bearish, you should take profits if you traded this Gartley pattern either in the dollar index itself or on EURUSD, Aussie USD counter dollar moves. Take profits when the dollar reached 96 and wait to see how the price reacts to this strong support zone. And now I want to go over some trading ideas I had in the market zone, and mostly for the elite zone members. For stocks, bullish trading ideas that reach final target levels and now present bearish opportunities. One of them is Apple. As you can see, we had a bullish bet here, sorry. I considered August spikes here false break, and once the price closed above 105, we started looking for the bullish opportunity. It rallied, bounced on the 110, bounced again on the 110. We had a trading channel here, breakdown, another retest of the 110 support zone, and then I wrote to the members that this is a perfect, as much as you can say perfect in the stock markets, good trading opportunity to buy Apple before earnings. And indeed, Apple rallied before earning, almost reached the final target level, and before earning it declined a little bit. Last week I sent, before Tuesday's earning, I sent a bullish scenario for Apple, and indeed it finally reached the final target level for this bullish scenario that we started back then in September. The final target zone was 120 with a potential to reach the 200 SMA line. It may try to reach there, but this 122 is the resistance zones to look for continuation trade on Apple, bearish one, probably towards 110, maybe 115. So this is a perfect example of how we used August's lows, the crash that we had, to find bullish opportunities. While everyone was running away from the markets, we looked for bullish opportunities, and you will see it in another example just in a few seconds. And it finally reached final target level, sorry, and now we are looking for a bearish one. Another good example for a bullish trade idea that reached final target level and became bearish scenario is Amazon. We had a setup for Amazon based on this trend line. We had a setup in the elite zone, and then the next line we monitored was this trend line, as you can see here in red dashed line, which is a weekly trend line that should have acted as resistance. As you can see, we have a kind of a cone pattern here. And this red trend line acted as resistance in the history. Here it was a resistance, and then a resistance again, resistance, and I expected it to be a resistance again, and that was the first target level of our bullish setup. But once the price climbed above it, bounced above it, confirming the breakout that became this trend line became actually support, I mentioned I sent the lead zone member a continuation trade ideal that Amazon might reach 620 to complete this bearish butterfly that you can see here. And indeed, it turned out to be a very successful trade. Amazon gapped up following the good earning results and completed the bearish butterfly. Now I'm waiting. You can see since then that Amazon climbed with a shallow daily candles and created Friday with a daily pin bar. Now what I'm looking for is a close below 620, perhaps confirming that this was a false break, This was a false break, and then I'm looking for Amazon to continue down towards the 550 zone. Probably will meet the 600 support zone and the 500 support zone as target level on its way down. But first I want to see Amazon closing below 620, maybe today with if futures continues to be in red, maybe we'll have a bearish open, and then we can trade this trade on Amazon. The last chart I want to show you before I head on to the Forex part of this video is for XLY. We had a bearish Gartley here. I took an assumption that this spike, this August spike, isn't relevant. This isn't written in the book of rules for harmonics. You can't do it. But I took an assumption that it's not relevant and it was a flash crash or whatever. And I built this bearish Gartley. The price continued higher, but the focus zone was actually the top of this trading channel. And indeed, the price, we saw the price stalls a little bit near this trading channel top, but eventually it climbed up and ended up with a bearish pin bar on last Friday. Now what I'm looking at is I want to see the price closing below $80. As you can see, 80 here, it's just below the trading channel top. It will create a classical false break, and then I will be able to aim for the bottom of the trading channel, and then final target level will be near 76.5, maybe 77 final target level, which there it will meet, the price will meet both the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA line. Short-term pullback I'm looking for in XLY if the price will close below $80. Now let's see some Forex charts. Three charts I want to show you in the Forex part of this video. One of them is EURUSD that you see right now, Aussie, which has RBI's rate decision coming, and gold, which will be affected by Aussie's rate decision, and the dollar, of course. So let's start with the EURUSD. We are inside the PRZ, the potential reversal zone of this bullish Gartley. This is here. This is the PRZ. And the price is inside it. We see a strong opening today, a gap up. And what I want to see from EURUSD is that it will reach 1.11, 1.12 to retest this broken uptrend line. The broken uptrend line that broke when Draghi announced more potential, more stimulus action on December's ECB meeting, that crashed euro from 1.14 towards 1.1. Those of you who read last week's newsletter know that 1.1 was the critical zone, and when the price closed above it on Friday, just barely above 1.1, it was a bullish signal despite this bearish pin bar. And I like to see the bullish opening here, and I think that we will see EURUSD reaching all the way up here to retest the uptrend line before NFP this Friday. But we have to see, it's just still very early in the week, but that's the scenario. If EURUSD will decline back to 109, it will create probably a double bottom potential to buy. I'm looking to buy EURUSD at least as long as it stays above 108, the X point of this bullish Gartley. Next chart is Aussie USD. We have RBI's rate decision coming later on today. And what I was looking for last week was that Aussie will remain above this support zone with a 50 SMA line with some structured zone here. It failed. It reached all the way down to the uptrend line and bounced from it. In this week's weekly markets analysis, I mentioned two buying scenarios, as you can see. One of them is if the price will climb above the 50 SMA line and remain there, it means that the uptrend line held the support, close above the 50 SMA line will consider to be a bullish signal, and then I want to see Aussie continue higher to meet, at least to meet the resistance level here, the resistance zone near 0.72. The other one, more interesting I have to admit, but more risky also, is if Aussie will decline today towards the rate decision and reach the zone, the structure support here, and actually it will create a bullish aggressive C scenario for a 3 drives pattern. You see here the first ABCD that acted as reversal, and now potential 3 drives if Aussie will reach all the way down to the figure level of 0.7, and we will see some bullish signals here on smaller time frame. It will be a very interesting scenario to buy Aussie here and expect it to reach and complete the 3 drives near 0.74. So two buying scenarios. One, if Aussie will remain above the 50 SMA line. The other one is if Aussie will decline below the trend line. But in that case, it's very important to emphasize it, we need to see a strong reaction for 0.7. We need to see the price back above the 50 SMA line and above the trend line. So it's kind of creating a false break here with a bullish aggressive C for a 3 drives pattern. So these are the two scenarios for Aussie. Rate decision will create some spikes. So these are the scenarios I'm going to monitor, and I hope will turn out to be profitable. And the last chart I want to show you guys, as mentioned, is XAUUSD, gold, with a bearish scenario that turned out to be very successful as the price declined from our sell zones. We had two sell zones. We have one near 1200, the bearish Gartley completion, and one near 1180, strong resistance zone, as you see in the setup here. The price kind of stalled between them and then declined below 1180, triggered the sell order, and reached final target level, which was the 50 SMA line. And now the question is whether XAUUSD gold about to rally or not. We have a trend line here, an uptrend line that may be tested. The price will try to retest it. We have NFP. We have several events that will influence gold, so I expect a volatile week in gold. So pay attention to this trend line, 1140, 1135. And maybe it will rally back to try and break this strong channel, resistance channel here. You can see, you can check out the full setup on TradingView. I posted this setup there, and if you are not following me on TradingView, please do. I send out several trading ideas throughout the week in TradingView with frequent updates. So look for the market zone on TradingView and see all my setups, and you can just see the full chart. So regarding gold, we have a buying opportunity if it will bounce from the uptrend line here back to 1180, 1170 to this trading channel resistance, or if gold will decline lower, it will reach again 1100 and maybe even 1000. That's the scenarios for gold. As you can see, we had a very good month. September and October were very good to us in the elite zone. If you truly want to become a better trader, you want to see how this price action works every day, join the elite zone. It just costs you $40 per month. It's nothing compared to the value that you get from the content I send to the members. You can do it by visiting www.themarketzone.net and go to the services page and just subscribe to the elite zone, whether you want the forex to join the forex group or the stock markets group. There are a couple of services there, and it's not a single services, but as you can see, I provide detailed explanation on each scenarios I see, and then you can decide whether you want to trade it or not. I get a really good feedback from the members, so I guess it's good. Check it out, $40 per month, and you have a discount if you subscribe to 6 months. Thank you for joining me and watching this video. I hope some of these trading ideas I just showed you will turn out to be profitable, and you will make money and you will learn from them. And of course, keep following the market zone. Thank you very much. Bye.